Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's our national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Delanjali Ananda, and these are the top stories for tonight. The Oya development project will be vested with the public tomorrow. Chief guest Iranian president will arrive in the island for the same. Oya project will provide water for 6,000 hectares of agri-lands. The president stresses that education should not be politicized. Police fires at a speeding three-wheeler, killing 2 criminals. Sajid says that he is ready to debate with the JVP in May. 2 helicopters crashed in Malaysia, killing 10 people. Shamariyatapathu secures the top spot in the ICC Women's ODI batting rankings. Now for this and other stories in detail. Today is the Bak Full Moon Poya Day, in which many important events have occurred according to the records of the Buddhist order.
Many religious activities have been organized at every temple and Buddhist center to mark the Poya Day. Lord Buddha's second visit to Sri Lanka commenced on a Bak Full Moon Poya Day. Buddha had arrived in Sri Lanka to solve a dispute between 2 brother kings of Naga clan in Nagadeepa of Jaffna Peninsula, Chulodara and Mahodara. Another king of the Naga clan, Maniakita, had invited Lord Buddha to visit Kalaniya on a day like today. Another sermon of the Dharma Deepani program organized at the Temple Trees was delivered today under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Venerable Nikapota Chandra-Jyoti Thera delivered the Dharma Deshana this month. The national television Saddharma Varsha Bak Poya Day live telecast was held at the Nagola Ancient Temple in Polpitigama. Buddha Puja, Dharma Deshana and many religious programs were held there under the guidance of chief incumbent of the temple, Venerable Shastrapati Pandita Lagum Deniye Sunanda Thera.
The Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi is scheduled to arrive in the island tomorrow to take part in the opening of the Oya multi-purpose development project. 5 memorandum of understandings between the 2 countries will also be signed in line with the Iranian President's tour of Sri Lanka. These MOUs will further strengthen the ties between the 2 countries. Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi will arrive in the country under a special invitation extended by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. This is the first time an Iranian leader visits Sri Lanka after the former President Mohammad Ahmadinejad's visit in 2008. Oya multi-purpose development project is the largest irrigational project started in Sri Lanka after the Mahavalley development movement.
In more local news, the Oya Multitask Development Project, which is another milestone in Sri Lankan irrigation history, will be declared open tomorrow. One of the leading aims of this project is to provide water to 4,500 hectares of new agricultural lands and 1,500 hectares of existing cultivative lands. This project will also supply drinking water for the people in Badulla, Monaragala and Hambantota districts. Oya starts from Piduru-Talagala mountain range and flows to the sea through the eastern basin in the Uva province. 2 tributaries of Oya is blocked at Puhulpola area and created the Puhulpola Reservoir and Diyaramba Reservoir. These 2 reservoirs are connected through 3.9 kilometers long tunnel. Then another 15.6 kilometers long tunnel takes the water from Diyaramba Reservoir to 720 meters deep underground hydropower station located in the Karandagolla area in Vallabaya. The power station adds a capacity of 120 megawatts to the national grid. Turbines with cutting-edge technology have been installed in this powerhouse. The entire Oya multitask development project costs $514 million. The construction was jointly carried out by the Farab Company of Iran with a group of local engineers. This project was initiated on the 29th of April 2008 under the patronage of then President Mahinda Rajapaksa and his Iranian counterpart Mohammad Ahmadinejad. Solving the problems raised since its inception, the project has been able to increase the underground water level of the area. After power generation, water released from the Karandagola power plant will be taken to Alikota Ara reservoir through a canal. Then the water is distributed to about 115 irrigational tanks, including the Handapanagala and Kudaoy reservoirs. Many irrigational tanks in Vellavaya, Monoragala and Hambantota and Kirindu area will also be nurtured by the Umaoya waters. This project provides water for about 6,000 cultivative lands in these areas. The project also provides drinking water for Bandarawala, Badul and Monoragala areas. Minister Pavitra Vanniyarachi said that as a result of this project, water can be supplied to about 30,000 acres of cultivative lands in the Lunugambhera area. This is a huge benefit for the nation. As such, it provides water for irrigation and drinking purposes and adds electricity to the national grid.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized the peril of politicizing education, warning that such a move would inevitably lead to the nation's downfall. He urged all stakeholders to set aside personal biases and engage in collaborative discussions to devise the most effective education system for the country within the next 2 to 3 years. These remarks were made during his address at the 10th Biennial Conference of the All Ireland Professional Lecturers Association held at the Nellum Pokuna Theatre in Colombo this afternoon. The All Ireland Professional Lecturers Association, established in 2004 by a consortium of tuition teachers nationwide, convened the event. Dr. K. Arya Singha, a founding member of the All Ireland Professional Lecturers Association, along with other senior teachers, were present with the senior lecturers awarded by the President. President of the Association, Ravindra Bandara, presented the commemorative gift to President Ranil Wickremesinghe, the chief guest of the conference. Following this, the President joined the executive committee members of APLA for a group photograph. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the fundamental mission of the Ministry of Education is to ensure quality education for every child. Over time, the supplementary class system emerged in our country and has since made significant strides. This development was driven by the shortcomings in our education sector and the intrusion of politics, which hindered effective problem solving. Consequently, students and parents turned to supplementary classes as an alternative. The President said that, however, today there is a symbiotic relationship between mainstream schooling and supplementary classes. Particularly notable was the discussion surrounding the provision of education through online technology during the recent pandemic. Back in 2017, the government proposed to the Ministry of Education distribution of tablets to high school students for online learning, with the necessary funding allocated. Unfortunately, the project was shelved due to objections. Had it been implemented then, online education could have commenced earlier. Nevertheless, the President commended the initiation of this project by All Ireland Professional Lecturers Association. In many nations worldwide, the traditional schooling system and supplementary classes are intertwined. It is imperative to craft an education system that aligns with our country's needs. We must delve into the dynamics between formal schooling and extracurricular activities, while also exploring the integration of technology and artificial intelligence into education. Presently, technology is driving significant changes in education, and it's crucial that we embrace and adapt to this transformation. These educational reforms must be confined to the domain of education experts alone. General educators, representatives from the economic sector, and organizations like the All Ireland Professional Lecturers Association should also actively participate. The President said that the government actively striving to make the requisite arrangements for the endeavour. Consequently, over the next 2 to 3 years, it is imperative that we engage in discussions to determine the optimal education system for our country by the year 2050. He said that furthermore, the government will remain adaptable to ongoing technological advancements beyond that time frame.
In more local news, there was an exchange of fire between the police and 2 suspects at the Moragahahena area early this morning. Now, the 2 suspects were killed by police fire during the incident. A group of police officers who were on sentry duty at the Beraketi Junction roadblock in Meegoda had signed a three-wheeler that came from the Dampe area to stop. However, the suspects in the three-wheeler had fired several shots at the police team and attempted to flee. Then the police team informed the other police stations in and around the Moragahahena area. On receiving the information, a team of Colombo South Crime Division had followed the three-wheeler and signed them to stop. The suspects were fleeing without heeding the police call. Then the police had opened fire at the evading three-wheeler and the three-wheeler veered off the road and stopped. The police stated that they had shot the suspects and one of the suspects had opened fire at the police team. The police had taken the injured suspects to the Horana hospital, but they had succumbed to their injuries on admission. One of the suspects has been identified as Imesh Danushka Darshana, a 36-year-old resident from Mattegoda. He was also a listed criminal connected to many crimes, including theft from 2010 to 2023. Police added that he was an army deserter as well. The suspects had been taken to custody several times with regard to drug smuggling. The other suspect was Suraj Prabodha Adihetty, a 42-year-old resident of Tanamalvila. He is also a drug smuggling suspect connected to the shooting at a businessman in Kandana recently. The police further said that he has been taken into custody several times under the charges of possessing illegal firearms. Police have also recovered the pistol which was used to fire at the police team. Moragahahena police is conducting further investigations. Police media spokesman DIG Nihal Taldua said that the police is of the opinion that these suspects were on a mission to kill a person. They are also suspected of operating under instructions from a criminal operating from a foreign country. Police also suspect that these two persons are connected to an international drug smuggling ring.
Funeral of Railway General Magistrate late HMKW Bandara will be held at the Borala Cemetery on the 25th of this month. He was 55 years of age at the time of his demise. While arriving in Radhapura area for an official duty, Railway General Manager late HMKW Bandara was caught up in a sudden illness and passed away this morning. Being a senior officer in the Railway Department, he started duties as the Railway General Manager on the 3rd of November last year. His remains will be placed at the Railway Headquarters building at the Technical Junction in Maradona until tomorrow afternoon. Then the remains will be taken to private funeral parlour in Borala.
In more local news, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that he is ready to have both debates with the JVP in May. Meanwhile, SJB parliamentarian Nalin Bandara says that the discussion regarding the debate will be held on the next 2 days when the parliament meets after the new year. Parliamentarian Nalin Bandara said that they have received a letter from Nalinda Jayatissa. They have unilaterally decided 4 days in May for the leaders' debate. Sajith Premadasa is unable to get ready during these 4 days since there are several pre-organized programs. However, the JVP has not mentioned about the debate between the two economic committees of the two parties. It must be held soon since today's major problem is the economy. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that the JVP team has evaded the economic experts debate. Now they say that a debate between the two leaders should be conducted. The opposition leader said that he is ready to hold both debates within the month of May.
The May Day rally of Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramna will be held at the Campbell Park in Colombo at 2 p.m. on the 1st of May. National organizer of SLPP Nama Rajapaksa says that pre-arrangement of the May Day rally are being carried out these days. A meeting was held in Polonnaruwa to enlighten the SLPP activists regarding the May Day rally yesterday. This meeting was organized by the Polonnaruwa district SLPP leader, State Minister Siripala Gamlath.
ආණ්ඩුවක් විදියට මහින්ද මහත්තයාගේ ආණ්ඩුවෙන් ඉදා ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ තීන්දුව වල මුදල් වෙන් කෙරුවත් ඒවායේ වැඩ කරේ ඒවා ගොඩ නැගුවේ අපේ රටේ වැඩ කරපන්. ඔවුන්ට පිසිදු වෙන්න තමයි මේවා ගොඩ නැගිලා බුදු බිමක් ප්‍රතිවිච්ච රට වැඩබිමක් බවට පරිවර්තනය කරන්න හැකියාව. නේද අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා අපි ලෝක කම්කරු දිනේ ඉතාමත් උත්කර්ෂවත් අන්තිමේ සමරේ යුතුයි සහ ඒ සමරන්න අයිතියක් තියෙන දේශපාලන පක්ෂයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒ තමයි.
එතන වැටෙන නැගිටින පක්ෂයක් අපි. ඒ නිසා මේ නැයි රැළිය විශේෂිත නැයි රැළියක් මගට තරම්
Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that the past Mahinda government had taken policy decisions and allocated funds. Parliamentarian Tissa Kutiarachi said that SLPP is a party that stand up at every time when it falls.
Now we move on to a few more local news items in brief. A special religious event was held today to mark the 31st death anniversary of late Lalit Athulat Mudali. This was organized by the Lalit Athulat Mudali Commemoration Foundation and held at the Paramadam Machetya Pirivena premises in Ratmalana. The new UNP Kasbah electoral organizer president's director general for the trade union Saman Ratnapriya assumed duties today. He also joins the religious activities held at the Sri Dharma Samadhi temple in Bokundara. Interviews to recruit teachers for vacancies in the national schools under the results of the competitive exam held on the 2nd of March will be held from the 29th of this month to the 9th of May at the Isurupaya Ministry of Education. The list of qualified persons and the calling letters are available at the ministry's website. A close ally of a notorious gang leader Kirikolla, who is hiding in Dubai, has been arrested at the Bolavalana area in Nigambo yesterday. The police special task force conducted this raid. Police also taken a stock of ice worth 16 million rupees to custody from his possession. Development of vehicle park and the trade fair premises of the historic Sabaragamu Mahasaman Devalaya commenced recently. The government has allocated a sum of 50 million rupees for this project.
The free rice was delivered to 24,159 low-income families in the Colombo Divisional Secretariat area today under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. This program was held at the Sri Vikramarami temple in Mattakulia. This program is underway island-wide at Gramalidari divisional level. Asbestos beneficiaries, kidney patients, disabled persons, elderly allowance holders and many other low-income individuals are qualified for this donation. The government has allocated over 126 billion rupees to distribute rice among 33.9 million families. 113,000 families in the Colombo district will receive this benefit. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that a majority of people in the Colombo city are low-income individuals. Without these people, the mechanism in Colombo cannot be activated. All the services in the Colombo city are maintained by the low-income groups. Therefore, it is a responsibility of the government and the politicians to build a better future for the low-income families and their children.
We move on to more local news. Now the Army headquarters has appointed a special committee of investigation into the accident that occurred at the Fox Hill Supercross in Diatalava. The committee is to report its findings to Army Commander. This committee is headed by a Major General and consists of 7 senior officials. The committee will look into the matters that caused the accident and the persons responsible. The committee will also find out whether the safety measures had been taken for the spectators and the quality of the motor racing track. It will also present recommendations to prevent such accidents in the future. Bodies of the victims that resided in the Dayaraba estate in Valimada, grandfather and granddaughter, were brought to their residence last night. Funerals of 55-year-old Muttusamy Udayakumar and 8-year-old Sivakumar Dinushika are scheduled to be conducted at the Diyaramba Estate Public Cemetery tomorrow evening. Muttusamy Udayakumar was an estate worker there. Sivakumar Dinushika was studying at the Diyaramba Tamil School. Being a motherless child, she was looked after by her grandfather and grandmother.
The higher ordination ceremony of 10 Thailand novice Buddhist monks was held yesterday at the Hunupitiya Gangarama Sima Malakaya premises. These Samaneras were ordained in Buddhist order in Thailand temporarily. Buddhist relations between Thailand and Sri Lanka are of nearly 1,000 years. Thailand is a country that passed higher ordination standards to Sri Lanka. The embassies of both countries have initiated this higher ordination ceremony to strengthen the Buddhist relations between the two nations. The Lumbini Development Trust says that the Lumbini Development Plan in Nepal will be completed within a period of 3 years. This will provide facilities to Sri Lankans and thousands of devotees worldwide to worship Lumbini sacred premises. This sacred premises development plan is underway targeting the Lumbini Garden, which is considered as the birthplace of Prince Siddhartha. The plan was implemented jointly by the Nepal government and the United Nations in 1978. It was stalled for some time and restarted in 1990. Secretary of the Lumbini Development Trust, Sanu Raja Shakya, says that 16 segments of the main plan have been completed at present. He made these remarks when he met a group of Sri Lankan journalists arrived in Lumbini recently. Buddhist temple complexes of 13 Theravada order and 29 countries of Mahayana tradition have been established in the sacred premises. The entire project, rather 5.5 billion Nepali rupee facilities, will be provided to Lumbini pilgrims.
Development Trust as information and PR chief. Well, Lumbini Development Trust was established in 1985 to develop Lumbini, the holy birthplace of Lord Buddha, and other Buddhist sites directly or indirectly associated with the life of the Buddha, which are scattered in Rupandehi, Kapilvastu, and Nalparasi districts of Nepal. So the responsibility was given to Professor Kenjo Tange to design the master plan by UN under the active participation and leadership of UTHANT by then United Nations UN Secretary General. So Kenjo Tange, he completed the Lumbini Master Plan in 1978, and the same year the plan was approved by the government of Nepal and UN. So there are 16 components, total components in the master plan designed by the Professor Kenjo Tange, of which 13 components have been completed, and now 3 components are remaining. There are culture center buildings. There are 2 buildings completed. Now 4 more buildings should be completed there, constructed there. And river management and drainage diversion is another component. And solid waste management system establishment is the 3rd component to be completed. At the moment, currently, Lumbini Development Trust is working on road networking, under which different service roads are being constructed within the Lumbini Master Plan as designated by the Master Plan of Kenjo Tange. And many parking spaces are being constructed, and drainage system within the road network are being constructed.
That's all the local news we have. Stay tuned for international news coming up next after this break.
சோழ நாட்டை உடைக்கவா கட்டளை?
release of energy and that more could be expected, though perhaps not a strong. Seismological Center Director further added that with heavy rain predicted for all of Taiwan this week, people in Hualien need to be prepared for further disruption.
In some tragic foreign news, French officials stated that 5 people, including a 7-year-old girl, have died while trying to cross the English Channel. The authorities stated that the victims were trying to get to the United Kingdom on an overloaded boat from the Plage d'Orléans, carrying 112 migrants, and the boat ran aground on a sandbank after leaving Vemero near Bologna. The French Maritime Prefecture said in a statement that the engine stopped and 2 people fell into the water near the boat. The Abel Normandy patrol boat was immediately deployed to rescue those who had set off on the boat. 6 people were taken aboard the patrol boat before being taken to the beach to be treated by emergency services.
The captain of the Sri Lanka women's cricket team, Chamari Ataputtu, have come to the top place again under the ICC Women ODI batting ratings.
Now, the International Cricket Council today announced the latest international cricket ratings. Chamari Ataputtu claimed the first place in the ratings earlier as well. Before the tournament with the South African women's team, she was at the 2nd place. During the 3rd ODI match against South Africa, Chamari scored 195 runs not out, and this is her 9th ODI century. With these talents, Chamari Ataputtu again secured the first place in the ratings with 773 points. She has represented Sri Lanka for 101 ODI matches. She had scored 3,513 runs so far. And that's your news broadcast here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira together with Dulanjali Ananda, wishing you a pleasant evening. Take care.